Hey, Indy, this is Reverend Harrison. This is the first chance I've had the opportunity to comment on the mass shooting downtown. I've been busy today, certainly with all the services that I had to preach today on Easter Sunday. But I did want to comment on the mass shooting downtown in Indianapolis involving juveniles, where 7 juveniles were shot, ages 12 to 17 years old. This has been a reoccurring problem in the city. Going back to the days when I first started working with 10 Point in 1999, when we would be asked to come downtown by the mayor's office and law enforcement to help with juveniles, just trying to get them from the mall to the bus stop. At that time, the bus stop was right by the State House, and we would try to get 200, 300, 400 kids on buses back home. And many of those kids, and I call them kids, they were really adolescents and juveniles back home without any incidences. Back then, the problem that we faced in the late 90s and early 2000s were kids getting into a fight. So, our job was to keep the kids from getting into a fight, get them on the buses, and get them back home. That has really changed over the years. I would say over the last 8 to 10 years, we have had a growing problem of juveniles coming downtown carrying weapons. And sadly, sometimes when they get into a conflict, it leads to gun violence. And if we're going to stop these mass shootings, whether they be downtown or in other areas of the city, we have to get the parents involved. That has always been the problem of parents allowing their children to be downtown and in other locations across the city at hours where they should not be out, but they should be supervised by their parents. Parents, you got to help us out, because it's not the job of community groups and law enforcement to babysit these kids. At 11 o'clock at nighttime, a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old ought to be home. I got 2 teenage children myself, and they have curfews. I got one 17 and one 18. They cannot go where they want to go and do what they want to do, and they certainly cannot stay out late at nighttime. It is my wife and I's responsibility for our 2 teenage children who are in high school. Parents, you got to be more responsible, and you cannot allow your children to be unsupervised. And I want to take it a step further. You cannot allow your juvenile children to have guns. You have to be a responsible parent and make sure your children are not carrying guns and they're not doing things that they should not be doing. I'm going to implore and ask parents, come on, you got to step up. We can't keep allowing these kids to go downtown in these large numbers unsupervised and staying out late hours. It is not the job of IMPD, and it's not the job of the city to babysit your children. That is your responsibility as a parent to supervise your child or your children. And it's not just downtown. It's out at the malls, it's out at these parties and other gatherings where these young people are gathering. And when there's something that jumps off, unfortunately, they're using guns to resolve their conflict. Parents, help us out. Be more responsible. These are your children. Don't let them go out unsupervised and stay out hours that they should be at home. A 12-year-old should not be on the streets downtown at 11 o'clock or after at nighttime. That is a parenting issue, and you parents have to start being parents.